Ladies and gentlemen, every great transformation in history began not with a giant leap, but with a single step, a simple choice made daily. Success is never an accident. It is the result of deliberate actions repeated until they shape destiny. Too often, we believe that only extraordinary efforts bring extraordinary results. But the truth is, it is the smallest habits, those quiet, consistent actions, that determine whether we rise to greatness or sink into mediocrity. Today, I invite you to open your mind and heart as we uncover 10 simple, yet powerful habits. These are not just routines, they are seeds. If planted daily with discipline and faith, they will grow into a life of abundance, purpose, and unshakable success. Transformation begins with small, consistent steps because every lasting change in life is built through repetition, persistence, and patience. When people think of transformation, they often imagine a sudden breakthrough, a dramatic shift that changes everything overnight. Yet in reality, the most profound changes are rarely the result of grand gestures. They are the outcome of tiny, almost invisible adjustments made daily, which gradually compound into something remarkable. A single decision to rise a little earlier, to read a few pages of a meaningful book, to choose water over soda, or to save a small portion of income may appear insignificant in isolation, but when practiced repeatedly, these small acts begin to reshape one's identity and future. The beauty of starting small lies in its simplicity. Anyone can take a small step, no matter where they are in life or what circumstances surround them. A small step does not require extraordinary resources, nor does it demand perfection. It only requires willingness and a decision to begin. When repeated consistently, it creates a rhythm that builds momentum. Momentum then develops into discipline, and discipline eventually transforms into character. Just as a river carves valleys through steady, patient flow, so too do small habits carve the path of a transformed life. Consistency is the secret ingredient that makes small steps powerful. Doing something once may feel good, but doing it every day is what unlocks true transformation. For example, a person who commits to walking just 10 minutes daily may not notice change within a week, but after months of persistence, their health, energy, and confidence begin to shift. Likewise, an individual who chooses to practice gratitude for a few moments each morning may not feel an immediate difference. But with time, this small ritual reshapes their outlook on life, rewiring the mind to focus on abundance rather than lack. The change is slow and subtle, but it is real and lasting. What makes small, consistent steps even more powerful is their compounding effect. Much like compound interest grows wealth over time, repeated positive actions multiply their impact. Each small step builds upon the previous one, making the next step easier to take. With every repetition, the habit becomes more ingrained and the results become more visible. Success does not come from intensity alone, it comes from consistency applied over time. This is why small habits often outperform big, unsustainable efforts. A person who tries to transform their entire life overnight may burn out quickly, while someone who focuses on one small, consistent improvement will keep moving forward without losing momentum. The process of transformation through small steps also teaches patience and faith in growth. It requires trust that today's effort, no matter how small, is shaping tomorrow's reality. The individual learns to value progress over perfection, to appreciate the journey instead of chasing immediate results. Over time, this mindset creates resilience as one realizes that setbacks are only temporary and can be overcome by continuing with the next small step. Transformation then becomes not a single event but a way of life, an ongoing evolution fueled by the power of consistency. Success is a result of deliberate daily actions because it is never something that simply arrives by chance or luck. Behind every achievement lies a pattern of choices made with intention and carried out consistently. Every day presents a series of decisions, and each decision, no matter how small, moves a person either closer to or further from their goals. Success is not defined by one major act of brilliance, but by the accumulation of disciplined behaviors repeated until they become an unshakable part of a person's character. Those who achieve greatness understand that excellence is built in the details of daily life, in the actions taken when no one else is watching, and in the habits carried out with purpose. Deliberate action means that every step is taken with awareness and direction, rather than drifting through life without clarity. Waking up early to dedicate time to learning, setting aside moments for planning the day, choosing to exercise rather than remain idle, or deciding to invest energy in meaningful work instead of distractions are all deliberate actions. These decisions may appear ordinary, yet they serve as the foundation upon which extraordinary outcomes are built. When a person makes deliberate actions a daily practice, they begin to align their behavior with their vision, and alignment creates momentum that pushes them steadily towards success. Daily actions have power because they shape identity. What an individual repeatedly does becomes a reflection of who they are. Someone who chooses to study every evening begins to see themselves as a learner. Someone who saves a portion of income each week develops the identity of a disciplined steward of resources. These small, deliberate behaviors reinforce self-image, and over time the mind and body naturally act in accordance with this new identity. Success flows not only from what a person does, but also from who they believe themselves to be, and deliberate daily actions strengthen this belief through evidence built day after day. Consistency in deliberate action also magnifies results through the principle of accumulation. A single workout does not transform health. A single conversation does not build a network, and a single hour of focused work does not create mastery. But repeated consistently, these actions compound into strength, relationships, and expertise. Each day's deliberate effort adds to the previous one, creating a compounding effect that accelerates growth. This is why those who practice discipline steadily surpass those who rely on bursts of motivation. By making purposeful choices every day, even in small amounts, one ensures that progress is continuous and inevitable. Deliberate daily actions also separate dreamers from achievers. Many people hold grand visions of what they would like to accomplish, but without intentional steps, those visions remain nothing more than wishes. Action is the bridge between desire and achievement. It is the proof of commitment, the tangible evidence that someone is willing to move beyond thought into execution. Success becomes accessible not because of extraordinary talent or circumstances, but because of consistent choices made with clarity and discipline. Every day becomes an opportunity to lay another brick on the foundation of achievement, and those bricks, placed with intention, eventually form the structure of success. Small habits shape destiny more than big leaps, because the actions we repeat every day carry more influence on our lives than the rare bursts of extraordinary effort. A single leap may feel powerful, but it is fleeting, while habits are steady forces that quietly direct the course of a person's future. When small habits are aligned with a clear vision, they become the invisible architects of destiny, guiding behavior, shaping mindset, and building resilience. It is the difference between someone who tries to change everything overnight and burns out versus someone who makes consistent, manageable improvements that compound into transformation. Over time, the individual shaped by strong daily habits achieves a destiny far greater than the one who relied on occasional, unsustainable leaps. Small habits work because they bypass resistance. Big leaps often require immense willpower, and while motivation may fuel a person temporarily, it rarely sustains them for long. Habits, on the other hand, are automatic behaviors that require less energy and decision-making. Choosing to drink water each morning, writing down 3 priorities for the day, or spending 10 minutes in reflection may seem trivial, but repeated daily, they rewire the brain and gradually shift the trajectory of life. Over years, these habits define how a person thinks, acts, and responds to challenges, ultimately influencing their destiny more deeply than one-time efforts ever could. Destiny is not determined by extraordinary moments, but by the ordinary ones, repeated until they build character and capability. A writer who crafts a single page each day eventually produces books. An athlete who trains consistently, even in short sessions, develops strength and endurance beyond someone who trains sporadically in intense bursts. An entrepreneur who commits to small, daily improvements in their business builds a foundation that lasts longer than the one built on grand but inconsistent initiatives. The cumulative power of small habits makes them stronger than dramatic leaps, for they are sustainable and enduring. Another reason small habits shape destiny is their compounding effect. A minor action, repeated over time, multiplies in impact. A person who saves a small amount of money consistently develops wealth far greater than someone who invests a large sum once but never follows through again. The compounding power of habits works silently, often unnoticed, until the results become undeniable. Destiny is not the result of a sudden decision, but the long-term accumulation of choices, and those choices are embedded in the habits a person keeps. Small habits also build resilience and adaptability. When challenges arise, It is not the occasional leap that carries someone through, but the ingrained behaviors that form their foundation. A habit of persistence helps them push forward when motivation fades. A habit of gratitude strengthens them when life feels heavy. A habit of discipline ensures they act in alignment with their goals even when distractions surround them. These small, consistent practices form the unshakable structure of destiny, providing strength during uncertainty and clarity during chaos. By focusing on what is done each day, rather than waiting for the perfect moment to make a leap, one gains the power to design a future of their own making, step by step, habit by habit. Habits are seeds that grow into abundance and purpose, because every repeated action plants something within the mind and character that eventually blossoms into results, opportunities, and meaning. Just as a seed does not reveal its potential on the day it is planted, a habit does not show its true impact in the moment it is performed. It is only with time, consistency, and care that the seed breaks through the soil, grows roots, and eventually produces fruit. In the same way, the small habits we cultivate daily sink into our subconscious, take root in our identity, and over the years shape the quality of our life. What seems small today becomes powerful tomorrow, and what begins as a single choice evolves into a destiny filled with abundance and direction. Every habit carries a seed of either growth or decline. Positive habits such as reading each day, practicing gratitude, exercising regularly, or maintaining discipline in finances plant seeds of prosperity, resilience, and fulfillment. Negative habits such as procrastination, complaining, or neglecting health plant seeds of limitation, scarcity, and regret. The soil of life does not discriminate, it grows whatever is planted. Those who are mindful of their habits are in truth mindful gardeners of their future. By choosing which seeds to sow, they decide whether their harvest will be abundant or barren. Abundance grows from habits because habits compound over time, multiplying their results far beyond the original effort. A person who develops the habit of saving a portion of income not only builds financial security, but also cultivates discipline, foresight, and peace of mind. Someone who practices kindness daily not only strengthens relationships, but also attracts trust, respect, and opportunities that would never appear otherwise. Abundance is not merely about material gain, it is about living a life that overflows with health, wisdom, joy, and connection, all of which are nurtured by consistent, intentional habits. Habits also give rise to purpose because they shape identity. What a person repeatedly does becomes a reflection of who they are and a compass that points them toward meaning. A person who develops the habit of serving others begins to discover fulfillment in contribution. A person who nurtures the habit of learning develops a sense of growth and progress that fuels their mission. Purpose is not discovered in a single moment of clarity, but is built gradually through repeated actions that align with one's values. Just as a seed does not become a tree overnight, a habit does not reveal its purpose immediately. Yet over time it transforms into a guiding force that gives direction to life. The process of turning habits into purpose is subtle but powerful. Each day's repetition adds another layer of strength, and each moment of consistency brings a person closer to living in alignment with their highest self. What begins as a small seed of action eventually grows into a tree that offers shade, fruit, and shelter not only for the one who planted it, but also for others who come across it. Through this growth, life becomes rich with meaning, and the habits that once seemed ordinary are revealed as the very seeds that produced abundance and purpose. 10 simple habits can unlock lasting success because it is not complexity but consistency that determines how far a person can go in life. Success does not demand extraordinary intelligence, overwhelming talent, or sudden breakthroughs. It demands steady actions that build momentum, sharpen discipline, and cultivate strength of character. When simple habits are practiced daily, they create a foundation that supports bigger goals and greater achievements. These habits may seem ordinary, but they carry within them the power to unlock opportunities, develop resilience, and lead to a future where success is not temporary but lasting and deeply fulfilling. The strength of simple habits lies in their accessibility. Anyone can adopt them regardless of their background or resources. Waking up at a consistent time, dedicating a few minutes each morning to planning the day, practicing gratitude, exercising reading, or setting aside time for reflection are small actions within reach of everyone. Because they are simple, they are sustainable, and sustainability is what leads to permanence. Success built on difficult or extreme measures often collapses under its own weight. while success built on simple, repeatable action stands the test of time. Each habit, when practiced consistently, acts as a key that unlocks a specific door to success. The habit of discipline unlocks productivity, the habit of learning unlocks wisdom, the habit of persistence unlocks resilience, and the habit of kindness unlocks influence and trust. Alone, each habit contributes to growth, but together, they create a powerful system that transforms the trajectory of a person's life. Success is never the result of a single action, but of a combination of daily choices woven together into a lifestyle of excellence. Simple habits also create structure in life. They give direction to time and energy, ensuring that both are invested wisely rather than wasted aimlessly. For example, a person who cultivates the habit of setting goals and reviewing them daily ensures that their actions align with their vision. Another who embraces the habit of health through regular exercise and proper nutrition ensures that their body and mind remain strong enough to carry their ambitions forward. In this way, habits are not isolated practices but interconnected supports that strengthen every area of life. Lasting success comes not only from achieving external milestones, but also from building an inner foundation of confidence, discipline, and clarity. Habits shape this inner world by reinforcing belief in progress. When someone keeps even the smallest commitment to themselves each day, they strengthen self-trust. That trust builds confidence, and confidence fuels greater action. Over time, the person who practices 10 simple habits develops not only skills but also the mindset to continue growing no matter what challenges arise. What makes these habits truly powerful is their compounding effect. Each day of practice builds upon the last, and though the results may not be visible immediately, they accumulate until they create undeniable transformation. Simple habits grow into extraordinary outcomes, not because of intensity, but because of repetition. By anchoring life in these daily practices, a person sets in motion a process that leads not to temporary achievements, but to success that endures across seasons, challenges, and opportunities, unlocking a life of purpose, strength, and fulfillment. Ladies and gentlemen, we have seen that transformation does not come from sudden miracles or fleeting bursts of effort, but from small, deliberate habits practiced each day. These habits are the seeds that shape our destiny, the quiet steps that carry us toward abundance, purpose, and lasting success. Each small action you take, no matter how ordinary it seems, is writing the story of your future. The question is not whether habits will shape your life. They already are. The real question is whether you will choose them with intention or allow them to choose you. 10 simple habits, practiced with consistency and faith, have the power to unlock the life you dream of. They will build your character, sharpen your focus, strengthen your resilience, and lead you into opportunities you once thought were beyond your reach. So as you step forward from this moment, remember that greatness is built one choice at a time, one habit at a time, one day at a time. Choose your habits wisely, nurture them patiently, and let them carry you into the life of success, abundance, and purpose that is waiting for you.